Good morning, everybody. Hey, Brave Bears. I'm back. We are back for the second episode of Shin Kicking Mondays. We've returned again. Sorry about being bright and early, unless, of course, you are somebody who likes bright and early. I've got a pretty packed schedule this week, and so for today only, it will be this early. At least for me, this is early. But returning Mondays, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled time, which is 10 a.m. Central Time. So wherever you are in the world, you can convert off of that 10 a.m. Central Time. But anyway, with that, let's get going. I don't want to go over time like I did last time, but it definitely was an amazing conversation. So I am so glad that you guys were all able to join last week. I had a lot of fun. It was great to come back on video again and hang out with you guys. If you are here live, which I know many of you may watch the replay, but if you are here live, please comment and say hello. Also, tell everybody else where you're from. Don't have to give us your exact address, but city or state or country is fine. But good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So, with that, let's go ahead and get going. How I like to start these shin kicking Mondays is we like to do an intention setting, which means that we are going to create the space and the stillness and the centering for us to set a great intention for our Monday morning, and hopefully it'll last us through the end of the week. You know, when we're in the hustle and bustle of every day, sometimes we forget to pause for self care. Sometimes we forget to stop and ground ourselves first before we go about our busy, busy, busy day and lifestyle. So, I like to start things by allowing us to get still, to create that space, to say, you know what, let's start with me time today. And from there, I'll be able to give more of myself to do more of the wonderful things that I want to do in the world. Good morning, Frank. Thanks for commenting from Louisville. All right. As you're all trickling in, feel free to say hi and tell us where you're from. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and set the intention. So, with that, if you are in a place where you can close your eyes and let yourself settle into your chair or sink into your bed and get comfortable, let's go ahead and have you do that right now. If you are driving or if you're somewhere where you're not able to do this without being distracted, good morning, Maricel, then I'm going to ask you to at least set the intention that you're open to receiving the intuitive channeling that wants to come through today to heal and to bless and to really help us ground as a group here. But then also at the second portion of the Shin Kicking Mondays, if there is a reading you would like to try to get live here on the air, on the spot, then set the intention for the clarity to receive that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause for a second. I'm just going to go ahead and close my eyes. Feel free to do the same. And as you're sinking into your chair or your bed, or getting comfortable wherever you are, focus on what it is that you want more of today, whether that's peace or comfort or relaxation or a stress-free morning or quiet, whatever it is. Allow yourself to be open to receiving that and giving that to yourself right now at this moment as we are grounding and centering ourselves for today's Shin Kicking Monday. Always remember to breathe. Take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Allow your body to feel the relaxation. It's okay to relax. It's okay to pause. It's okay to take a break. in today's call. We're only going to try to make it 30 minutes or less so that you can get about the day. All right, and with that, good morning, Anne from Ireland. And with that, feel free to either keep your eyes closed or open your eyes. We're going to go ahead and start the group intuitive channeling. And for those who have been here before or have had a channeling from me, they come to me on the spot as I'm sensing, feeling, hearing, or seeing any images or messages that want to come through. They either play in my mind like a movie, or sometimes I'm just feeling a sensation, or sometimes I just know to say something. And so let us pause and feel what wants to come through for the group as our healing, as our intention today. That's very interesting. I'm seeing a phrase here, and it has two connotations to it. So, no more, as in N-O, comma, more. And then no more, as in K-N-O-W, more. All right, let's break that down intuitively here. Good morning, Lisa. No need to apologize. You were good. Okay, no more. N-O, comma, more. How many of you are like me? You want to help, you want to give, you want to serve, you want to support, but you often say yes to everything, or you automatically go into fix-it mode or solution mode without giving yourself that moment to say, is this something that I can take on? Do I have any more bandwidth to give this person or the situation, right? Comment or leave an emoji if you can relate to the situation. So no comma more means learning how to say no more. And when you say no to somebody, you're not rejecting them. When you say no to somebody, you're not being rude, you're not being mean, you're not being unhelpful. What's happening is you are giving yourself permission to say, if I don't have the bandwidth, or if I don't have the time, or if I don't have the energy, then I should not be saying yes to you anyway, right? Saying no to others is saying yes to ourselves. It's saying yes to me. So learning how to say no more is not a bad thing. It helps you to pause before you truly respond with your ability to help, serve, or support. And it allows you to say, if I say no to someone else, what does that allow me to say yes to in terms of what I want and what I need and what I need to do for myself right now? Saying no more can also be, you know what, let me think about it and I'll get back to you. That's also a no, because it's saying no for now, but maybe it could be yes later. And you're not, leading anybody on or falsifying your response. You're basically saying, I can't automatically say yes anymore. I need to pause and decide whether it's a right fit right now at this moment. And based on that, I just need to say no, or I don't have an answer yet. Let me get back to you. Okay? Lisa says, that's me. Heck, that's me too. This is something I've learned years ago, but I still struggle with from time to time because I automatically want to go into, I can do it. I've got the skills, I've got the capability, I've got the resources, I've got the energy, but just because you can doesn't mean you should. I'm going to repeat that because that's really key here. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should. Okay? Now, the other connotation of no more, K-N-O-W, more. Gaining more knowledge, gaining more experience, educating yourself and informing yourself of things, whatever that may be, whether it's learning a new skill, whether it's going back to school, whether it's getting a certification in something, whether it's just you have an interest in something and maybe it's more of a hobby and you want to get better at something. One of the big things that I've been working on recently is doing a lot of DIY projects around my house. I've never really considered myself a crafty person, but when you look all over YouTube, you can find a free video, or even Pinterest. You can find beautiful images and blog posts and videos on YouTube to to build or fix or make anything you can possibly want, all for free information. And so I sat on the idea to paint my exterior of my house, and then the exterior door as well. And I kept sitting on it, sitting on it, sitting on it, and then finally, after just looking at all the beautiful images and the easy to do DIY videos, I finally decided to go do it. And it literally took me, maybe it was a process of over 3 days, but I did a few hours at a time. And I think the outside of my house is beautiful now. And I will say this too, I don't know this for a fact, but I will say, as I drove up the neighborhood the other day, I noticed a neighbor whose door was not the same color as my door. And literally, when I drove past the other day, it was almost damn nearly exactly the same color as my door. So, that whole imitation is a form of flattery. I will take that as a compliment. But I mean, it just goes back to I never ever considered myself a DIY queen. I never thought I was crafty, and having the ability to do something that I could be proud of, and I actually did a pretty good job. It was because I was willing to learn. I was willing to inform myself. I was willing to do the work, and I was willing to say, I'm okay with not being good at this, but I'm okay also with learning how to get better at it. And if I need to learn, and if I need to know more, and if I need to get educated, then I've got resources at my fingertips to do that. Okay, so if there's anything that you've been sitting on that maybe that is the barrier holding you back from feeling like you can take that next step in your personal or professional life, it's okay you're never too old, it's never too late, it's okay. Find the information, find the resources. We've got it all over the internet. And know more, right? Gain that knowledge, gain that information, get better at it. So know, N-O, more, and know, K-N-O-W, more. Okay, everybody? I'm going to repeat that again. Say no more before you say yes so quickly to people. And know more, K-N-O-W, more. It's never too late to learn. It's never too late to get better at stuff. Okay, I'm going to go through the comments here, and just in case I missed anybody who hasn't made it yet. Thank you, Lisa, for repeating that. No for now. Yep, let me pause and decide if it is a right fit. If you're just joining us now, say hi in the comments. Tell us where you're from. We've got people from all over, and that's pretty cool. We got East Coast, we got Ireland, we've got Florida, we've got Kentucky. I'm from Minnesota. I didn't say Minnesota because I'm not originally from here. All right. So yeah, that's exciting. That's exciting to me. I as I said in last week's Shin Kicking Monday as well, I said that even though I've learned things over time, even though I've gotten better at things, I still at times can struggle with applying what I know. And it's because, we're humans. We can get caught up in this hi, good morning, Therese. Hello from Milwaukee, my former stomping grounds. Glad to see you here, my dear friend. Many times I can get stuck in my head, and I can say to myself, I don't feel enough. I know what I need to do, but I just don't feel like doing it today. I know the best path for me. I know what's right, but I'm not going to listen to it right now because there's, whatever excuse follows that sentence, right? And what I'm here to tell you is, even if you know a thing already, even if you have mastered whatever that skill is, you've gained the wisdom, we as human beings can still at times struggle with incorporating that thing we know and that thing that we've learned into our everyday lives. And here's the reason why. Because sometimes we just are tired of having to be on all the time. sometimes we feel like, you know what, I've been good and I've been focused or I've been productive or I've been whatever. And some days I just need a break, right? So sometimes some days we feel like we need a break from knowing what we know. And in the process of that, it allows us to feel more human and more flawed. I know that happens to me. If you missed it last week, I talked about how a couple weeks ago I suffered from something that felt like chronic fatigue, and I had no idea what I was going through at the time. All I know is after that episode finished, it was about 4 days lying in bed, not really wanting to get up and do anything. And there was really no cause. Like there was no impetus, no big event that happened that really shook me up. Um, it wasn't until after that experience that I had realized, wow, I must have been going through something. My body was probably telling me, right? My body was probably communicating to me and saying, you need a break right now, right? You need to rest, you need to relax, and you don't have to have a reason, Bernie. Something bad didn't have to happen, something huge didn't need to happen in your life. But your body is saying to you, you need a break. So I'm going to give you a break. If I have to force it upon you, you will break right now. And so I believe wholeheartedly that's what happened to me the other week. And literally coming off of that fatigue, the next day is when I whipped up my brand new website, heybravebear.com, and then decided for the idea to bring back Shin Kicking Mondays that we have here, and then also brought back my podcast, The Brave Bear Show. So it was almost as if my body was saying to me, I know what you need right now, and when you're ready, then you can get your ass up and go do all the things you need to do, because you got a lot to do and you got to do it in a very quick amount of time. So with that being said, I thank you, body. I thank you, soul. I thank you, spirit. I thank you, my energy. I thank you, health, for loving me and for supporting me and for healing when I need to and for forcing me at times to relax when I don't think I need to, or if I resist and I don't want to. So I want this to be a message for you to hear today as well. If you have ever felt that way, if you are currently feeling that way, or down the road, if this ever happens to you, please thank your body, thank your spirit team, thank your divine wisdom, because it knows you better than you do. Get out of your head and quit trying to outsmart yourself. Your body, your spirit, your source of energy knows you better than anybody. So please listen to it and allow it to come through to you, whatever message it wants to send you. Okay? Sometimes I hear these messages as a movie playing in my mind. Sometimes I hear it kind of as a thought in my mind. But you know, these messages could be coming to you also as a physical manifestation. You know, like I said, fatigue, or maybe you have a tingling sensation somewhere, you know, or maybe you're getting sick, maybe you're catching a cold, right? Maybe you're sleepy, maybe it's something allergy related. Whatever it is, listen to your body's wisdom. It's so smart. Okay, I'm going to look at a few more comments, and then I think it's time. We've got about 11 minutes left. I think it's time to open up the floor for some readings on the spot. This is my fun stuff I love to do. Messy bun, having fun doing readings today, okay? All right. If you just joined us, please say hello in the comments and tell us where you're from, okay? Awesome. Okay. So, I don't know. Pilar, are you here? Pilar is one of the Brave Bear insiders, and in my insider newsletter, I offer the opportunity for people to join us live, but they can ask a question ahead of the Facebook Live. Pilar, are you here? I know you had a question for me, so I wanted to make sure I answered it. If you are here and present, if you are, please go ahead and comment. I'm going to move on, and then I can come back if you do join us, Pilar. Okay, if anybody has a question for me, obviously this is going to be read, intuitively channeled, that is. here live. So if there's something too personal, obviously don't make the question that personal, but go ahead and leave a comment for me. What question do you have for me? It could be about life, it could be something professional, it could be career, it could be business related, it could be health. What do you want more clarity on right now? Go ahead and put a question in the comments, and I'll go ahead and do an intuitive channeling live here for you. And please don't be shy, guys. I won't bite. I'll wait it out because I know y'all are a little gun shy. And if you're just joining us, nobody's talking right now. I'm waiting for questions. So if you're just joining us now, please leave a question in the comments and you'll have a chance for a potential reading. Oh, really quick. Therese says she's new to this presentation, so she says, what is it that I do? Okay, so my apologies for that. In the event you aren't in the Brave Bear Insider newsletter or you didn't join us on Shin Kicking Mondays last week, Shin Kicking Mondays is basically my free coaching series where I hop on Facebook Live every Monday for about 30 minutes to do an intuitive channeling for the group, to send you healing and to set an intention for you on Monday and throughout the rest of the week. And then the second part of the Shin Kicking Mondays is I do intuitive channeling, which basically means that I'm allowed to, I basically say this, it's like me and your soul having a conversation with each other, and I bring through divine messages from your spirit team or from your own divine wisdom. Maybe it's waiting to be heard and you don't quite hear it. I help you to hear those messages, and then I speak them out loud to give you clarity and to support you at this time, whatever the question is. So thank you for that amazing question, Therese. Okay, I do have a couple questions, so we're going to go ahead and get going. But if you are joining us now for the first time, hello, tell us where you're from in the comments. And also, if you have a question you want on the spot, go ahead and leave it, and I will try to get to you. Okay, let's start with Maricel. Should I stay in my current field? Okay, so as those who've done intuitive channelings with me, as you know, I don't answer yes or no. I don't tell you what to do. You're welcome, Therese. Everybody has free will and the ability to make decisions based on what they know. And so I like to provide clarity for people. So I'm going to rephrase Maricel's question. Should I stay in my current field? We can pretty much say, what is the outlook if Maricel stays in her current field? Maybe versus if she jumps out and does something else, okay? And I don't know what you do, Maricel. It's kind of really not important, actually, because I think the energy that's going to come through is going to be about whether you're feeling stagnant or fulfilled or not. And so regardless of what job you do, if you want to put in the comment, you can, but regardless of what job you do, it kind of doesn't matter. The energy I'm getting right now, though, for you, Maricel, is that you don't feel challenged. I'm just going to take notes here in case I forget. Maricel, your current role, you don't feel challenged. You don't feel like you get to utilize all of your skills and knowledge and talents. And in the process of not feeling as if you're showing up and getting to do more purposeful or meaningful stuff, or it doesn't seem difficult to you, or if it doesn't make you feel like you're contributing as much more than you would like to, it basically is making you feel as though, gosh, I mean, I show up, clock in, and what the heck, this is it, right? So I'm getting that energy surrounding your current job situation right now. Now, it's not to say that it's a bad thing if you were to stay. I'm not sensing that you're going to stay at the role for a very long time. And what I mean by that is like years and years and building your resume with it. I'm getting a sense that you are going to stay in it long enough, as long as you need to serve you and what you need for yourself at this time. So, for example, easy money to support you, easy work so that it's not stressful, it's not difficult, it's not challenging. You're really good at what you do. But over time, let's say 1 year plus, if you were to stay, it would be draining in terms of it doesn't feel fulfilling to you. It seems a little too easy. It doesn't help you to grow and level up as a professional. And so if you were to stay, you could stay and do a side hustle or do a side gig that does give you that ability to be more creative or to be more authentically you or to be more meaningful. I do feel as if your current role is lacking that creativity and that space for you to really show up and be who you are and showcase your true talents and skills. So Marisol, if you do decide to stay, don't think of this as the end all be all career. Think of this as a stepping stone, financial stability, and just, the emotional stability because it's not too difficult, it's not too challenging. But at the same time, know that you're going to work harder if you bring in a side hustle or if you bring in another gig that does give you that freedom and that flexibility to be who you are and to do what you truly want and that fills you with more purpose and meaning. It's okay to have two things going on at the same time, but at some point you are going to get tired of that. It's going to be a lot of work. So you eventually will have to let one go. So make sure what you're choosing as your side hustle really is truly something that brings you passion and makes you feel amazing about yourself. Okay, so we'll move on. But Maricel, I hope that gives you some clarity about what to do. So it's not a yes or no answer. It's if you decide this, here are your options. And I hope that gave you clarity. Okay. Let me scroll back up real quick to see what other questions were being asked. Hi, Samantha. Good morning, my dear. Okay. How do I deal with someone who has depression, especially someone very close? How can I help them? Yikes. Yeah, that is a tough one. I'll see if anything is being intuitively channeled, but I will tell you from a firsthand experience is that when you're helping someone who's dealing with depression, it is far bigger than one person alone to handle. Okay. So, though you may be supportive, though you may be loving, though you may have a great ear and be compassionate and be empathetic and be the amazing person they could really use right now, depression is so big and it's also chemical if the person has been diagnosed obviously too with clinical depression. It is so much bigger than just one friend or one family member can handle. So what you have to do is you gotta do a few things. Get a team to support this other person. It can't just be you because you doing it alone will then be a burden on you and will take your energy and will be difficult for you to manage. And we should never want to be the only one to fix and help somebody anyway. We need a team. So find a team of people who are trustworthy, that this person trusts. Work with this person to have a team of other people, including yourself, to be there to love them and support them. Also go to amazing websites that have resources already that are either free or very inexpensive that provide that kind of information and support. I was a huge advocate and a supporter of a couple of blogs and charities years ago when I was very involved in the suicide prevention and the depression movement. And To Write Love on Her Arms is the name of the website. It is a charity that helps people who are suffering from depression or having suicidal ideation, and it gives them resources to work through that. And it's also resources for their family as well. The other amazing resource is my dear friend Amy Clover, who runs Strong Inside Out. So that's the name of her website, stronginsideout.com. And she is a coach who for fitness and health and basically for more of like the emotional management as well. She helps people also work through depression and any suicidal thoughts that they're having. She was suicidal when she was younger. She was hospitalized. Her friend helped her. Her family helped her. And in the process of finding herself again and loving herself again, she found fitness. Fitness really saved her life. So that's another thing too, Samantha, fitness. If this person is lacking some kind of activity or fitness in their life, encourage them to get into something that allows them to move their body, allows them to work their heart, allows them to channel that bottled up energy. See, what happens with depression is this is when we sit and sulk because we're regretful about what has already happened and what has already passed and what we have no control of changing, right? It's done with, it's over there behind us, but yet we can't let go of it for whatever reason. So we fall into depression when we feel regretful, when we feel pain from something that has passed and that we no longer have the ability to change. All right. I suffer a little bit from that, but more from anxiety. Anxiety is about worrying about what hasn't happened yet, is worrying about the future, is worrying about what's to come. And so when you're someone who suffers from depression, but then you also suffer from anxiety, you regret the past and you feel horrible about things you can't change. But then if you're anxious as well, then you're worried about what hasn't happened. So you're stuck in the cycle of regretting the past and being sad and feeling bad about yourself, and then worrying about what hasn't happened and what's to come. And it's a daunting feeling constantly to be straddling that line between depression and anxiety. And if you are experiencing depression, you probably are experiencing some level of anxiety, and vice versa. So be mindful of both and understand that both can exist at the same time, and that it's much bigger than us as an individual to do alone. We need the support of family, friends, and a team of people who really love and support us. The last thing I'll say about this too, Samantha, is meditation is huge. And people will say all the time, I've heard it all the time. People say, I can't meditate. I'm not good at meditating. And to be honest, it doesn't matter whether you're good at it or not. Meditation is about allowing yourself to center and ground, kind of like we did at the top of this Shin Kicking Mondays. We spent the first couple of minutes sitting in silence and setting an intention for us, a positive intention for what we want. And even if it's as simple as, let's say, this person going on YouTube or even coming to the Shin Kicking Mondays and giving themselves a couple minutes a day to just center, be still, and focus on what they want and set the intention for what they do want more of, then that can also release the suppressed feelings and the bottled up emotions, and allow you to release what it is that you're holding inside. It allows you to breathe and get through that moment, okay? And with people who are depressed, they just want to get through a moment. Sometimes they're not even thinking about tomorrow. So we just need to get them through the moment, okay? Thanks for the question, Samantha, and good luck with that. Okay, we're a little bit over time. So if anybody needs to leave, feel free to hop off. I'm going to stay on just a couple minutes longer because I have one more question that I want to get to. And, I'll try to do it as quickly as possible. But thank you guys for the great questions. Thank you guys for being here. If you do leave, we'll see you next week, Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time. And if you're still here, let's go ahead and finish this question. And depending on how quickly it goes, if anybody has other questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I'll try to get to as much as I can. I promise not to be here for the full hour. Okay, Anne asks, I'm thinking about offering a new service. Not sure if I should first focus on individuals or organizations or businesses as the target client. Right now, I work mostly with organizations, but I'm feeling kind of drawn to more one-to-one work with individuals, but that would be new. Okay, so this is what I love about this is a fantastic question, is because you pretty much have answered your own question in your question to me. Right where you said, I am feeling drawn to doing more one-to-one work. Okay? Your intuition is already talking to you, and you are feeling drawn to it. Just like how I felt drawn to reopening the Shin Kicking Mondays again after 6 years on hiatus. When you feel compelled to do something, that is your heart, that is your soul, that is your spirit. I love you too, Therese. That is your spirit telling you that I am in love with this thing that I want to do, and it consumes me. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop breathing it. I can't stop wanting to be a part of it. And and I'm just going to use the word obsession, right, in a good way. If you are so obsessed about it that the idea keeps coming back to you, 9 times out of 10, your intuition is telling you this is what you want to be doing. Okay. And I'm not saying this is going to replace what you already do. This could be added to your repertoire of services. It doesn't have to be an either or, it could be an and. Okay. So if you feel drawn a little bit, sit with that and come back to it and meditate on it or write about it, journal about it, but allow yourself to take inventory of how often is this coming back. Because if it's coming back a lot, that is your intuition telling you, okay, girl, it's time. Let's do this thing. And worst case scenario, if it works out, but you don't have the bandwidth, then you've got to let something go that doesn't bring you as much joy. Let's say you do it and it doesn't work out and you don't like it, then you let it go. Then at least you tried it out. You know, you saw what it could do or couldn't do, but at least you tried it and you were able to know whether or not it needs to continue to exist in your repertoire of services. But always listen to your intuition, always listen to your gut. If there's anything that you feel drawn to do, you feel compelled to do, you feel passionate about, and it keeps pulling on your heartstrings, okay? Listen to your heart and your gut when this is happening. That is the answer for you. So I just gave you validation. I did not tell you anything you didn't already know, but validating your question that, yeah, let's try it out. Let's try it out and see what happens. But good luck with that. I mean, obviously, if you feel drawn to it, then this is something you're excited about. And if you're excited about it, chances are you're pretty darn good at it. And if you're darn good at it, the world needs to see it. The world needs to see you, and the world needs you to shine. Okay? All right. Thanks, Anne, for the question. Okay. Anybody else before we close up shop here in a few seconds or minutes? Anybody else? I'm giving you another chance. I know I promised this would be 30 minutes, but sometimes when I feel like if there are other messages that want to come through for anybody, this is why I extend it sometimes. But like I said, if you need to hop off, please feel free to do so. These videos are recorded, so if you can't join us live, then you can always replay it later if you missed anything. If you're just joining us right now, go ahead and put your question in the comment box if you want a reading on the spot, and also feel free to let us know where you're from. And Pilar, you did have a question ahead of time. Were you able to make the show today, my dear? If you are here, please, you're welcome, Anne. Please let us know you're here, Pilar, and I will get to your question. And if not, then maybe we'll reserve for another time. Anybody else? I will wait and sip my water while I wait. And thank you guys for joining so early. I mean, it's early where I am. But yeah, this is early for me. So I'm so glad that you guys were able to make it despite the time change for the show. But if you guys missed it earlier, I will be back here Mondays, 10 a.m. Central Time. If there's ever a scheduling conflict, I let you guys know ahead of time, but I'm going to try to do 10 a.m.s because that's just the best time in the day for me. Okay, well, I'm not seeing any more questions, so I am going to close up shop. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today for the second episode of the Shin Kicking Mondays, my free coaching series. Please go ahead and bookmark this page if you want to join us every Monday. Again, I do an intention setting for the entire group at the beginning of the show, and then at the end I open the floor for any questions you might have, and I do intuitive channelings on the spot if time permits. So thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you for asking such wonderful questions. I hope you guys know more and know more this week, okay? Please do yourself a favor and know more, N-O, and know more, K-N-O-W. You will do yourself a favor if you do that. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next Monday on Shin Kicking Mondays. Take care.